Welcome to episode 37 of the OVW Fan Zone Live. This is where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Oaks.
And I'm Brian Hines.
37, right? Because we didn't. Is this 37 or 38 or 39 potentially?
The other one was unofficial.
So
yeah,
okay.
it's still 38. It
Okay,
would have been
30.
38 if we'd have successfully done this on the OVW stream last week. We did not, so it's still 38.
Not to interrupt you, Brian Hines, my friend Brian Hines.
Hey,
How's it going?
good. You?
I'm doing well. Who else is with us this evening?
With us is the disembodied voice of our producer, Tony Bryan.
I guess I've already sort of intruded on things. Hey, guys, I'm in the chat room as OVW Podcast. I'm going to be collecting your questions, comments, concerns, complaints, whatever you got. I'm going to be in the chat room looking for it, and we will get to where you can talk back with us a little later in the episode.
Right, but if you'd like to get our attention throughout the course of the episode, there's one really easy way to do that, Brian Hines.
That would be the super chat. If you have something you really, really want to say, a burning question, anything like that, a super chat will get your question or comment to the top of the line, and Brian will interrupt us and whatever we're doing.
Yeah, and whatever you have to say, please keep it PG-13 for the show. For the sake of the show, keep it PG-13.
For the kids.
I am not above editing a comment. So
OVW tour update. We're at OVW most Thursdays at the Hot Point Davis Arena along with the OVW faithful.
More often than not, yes.
Not only do we have OVW Rise this Thursday, but we have OVW Tough Love this Saturday, February 8th.
That's right.
Big pay-per-view here. We're just a few days away from. Appalachian Armageddon is in Pikeville. That's part of the legendary Hillbilly Days Festival. That's in the spring. That's in April 25th, not when it's cold out like it is now.
Is that the perfect date?
You might have to elaborate.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't think I do. What do you mean?
There is a meme where there is a beauty pageant, and it's from Miss Congeniality, I believe, where the contestant is asked what the perfect date is, and it's someday in April because it's kind of warm and you don't have to wear like just a light jacket or something. Anyway, I digress.
I didn't.
That is a great. Yeah, it's one of those things where you ask a beauty pageant, how do you solve world peace or whatever, and they ask, what do you think is the perfect date? Meaning like to go out with someone,
right?
And they consult the calendar.
Oh, I didn't see you making a Miss Congeniality reference tonight. I did see you making one because your favorite James T. Kirk is in it.
I still didn't see it.
No, you don't have to lie. I know that you're a Shatner completionist. I know that you are a big fan of his documentary that just came out this year.
Nope.
You went to the meet and greet when he was here in town. You don't have to lie for the sake of the show. It's okay.
He's coming back.
It's okay, Tony Bryan.
I won't eat then either. It's fine. I like to watch Star Trek. It's fine.
No, he's coming to the Comic-Con.
Well, good for him. I probably won't be giving him any money to talk to him.
Do you know what would be nice to see at the Comic-Con?
Wrestling people?
Wrestling people. Well, I would love to see an OVW panel discussion.
I know that OVW will be present at the Comic-Con that weekend.
As they were last year.
So we'll see what happens. One final show, though, most recently announced show is a free all-ages show at Element Eatery in Cincinnati, Ohio. That is on June 28th. Looks like we're getting some of these OVW summer tour dates hammered out as we're looking toward that season, so very exciting news.
Yeah, it's like Christmas came early.
Well, Christmas is still coming. They've got a whole pay-per-view for that, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But all of the tickets for all of those events, including tomorrow night at Hot Point Davis Arena for OVW Rise, Saturday night, Hot Point Davis Arena for OVW Tough Love, every ticket can be found at OVWTIX.com. Tiny Brian, what?
So a couple weird things to do. We got a little something special for you guys. We had an interaction with a well-known member of the OVW fan nation and one Rocco Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Creator of the Ghost Agents comics.
GhostAgents.net.
Yes. He also hosts an online radio show. Several other things. You know him. He's around.
He's a man about town.
He is a man about town.
And he's hard to miss.
And apparently, he came on to tell us a little bit of a story. And we have that to kind of kick things off tonight, a little longer form. We're going to cut to a recent interview with him, and we're going to give you a piece of it. You can see the full interview with Rocco, which went almost an hour, on
as it does when Rocco comes to town.
Yeah.
in our podcast feed over here on YouTube at youtube.com/@OVW podcast. That'll be on Saturday morning. It'll also be in our audio feed on Saturday morning.
Good.
The full thing, but we'll have a nice chunk of it here for you guys to look at and kind of get the gist of the story with some of the tangents taken out.
Yeah, and then you guys can sit down, like you said, tune in for the whole thing Saturday morning. Rocco's a great guest.
Yeah, it was a great story, great time you guys had. Looked like a lot of fun.
It's not coming out Thursday morning?
No, well, it's not quite it's a little different. So we're gonna, not to mention that's in the morning when we already have the full episode coming out. So we'll put it out on Saturday for you guys, and but we will have that for you in just a moment. When we come back from that,
That is what I was asking about. Is this where we're going to make the transition? Here?
Yes.
This is our time. When you come back,
things will be different.
Things will be different.
Things will be happening.
This will be a little bit different of a shot. That is one of the reasons why we have this this unusually long interview segment and an early break here. Brian Hines, a few weeks ago, we made a promise. I made a promise.
I made a promise to watch.
And it's
a
funny.
crazy promise.
I just said it and realized as soon as I said it that I had gotten myself into big trouble. We wanted to do punishments on this show. We haven't really figured out a way to administer them correctly yet. So I said I will do a punishment that we wanted to do in honor of Angelica Risk.
Yes.
Where I will eat increasingly spicier quesadillas over the course of the next segment. And you decided that in honor of Icon Lee, I should do it with a eye patch. So as promised to you, when we come back, I will have one eye in solidarity with Icon Lee. I will be eating increasingly spicier, hotter quesadillas in honor of Angelica Risk. And you guys are going to be able to make fun of me. We're going to make some predictions. We're going to have a good Wednesday night here on the OVW Fan Zone Live.
Wait. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I asked a question earlier.
Oh,
We
your
asked it last
question of
week,
the day,
yeah.
yes.
So my question of the day to you in the chat is this.
And ruminate on this over the break.
Yes, you're going to have plenty of time. If you were to enter the OVW roster as a character of your own design or your own choosing, what would your character be? I have one in mind, and I'm surprised that you didn't hear me just laugh out loud the other day when I went on and asked this question. And that's why I asked it, because I was, over there on the other side of the room doing some work.
Mm-hmm.
And this thought just popped into my head. Like, if I were to enter the OVW, this is what I would do. This is who I might be.
Well, go ahead and tell us.
Okay. You already know.
I'm just sitting back here.
Okay. So if I were to be a character, it would kind of be an extension of myself, except for it would be more of a heel character.
Okay,
like
interesting.
Somewhat a bumbling heel character. But he's really, really good with cooking. And so I would be the griddler.
Okay.
And I would have like a suit. Instead of question marks like the Riddler, I would have like spatulas.
And then I would come on this show and be like, "Oh, brother, we got to get a new gimmick for the Griddler. I don't know if this is gonna."
Oh no. I think I'm onto something with this. I mean, I cook every day here anyway.
Yeah, you do. You do love to cook. You don't miss a meal.
Are you sure?
You insist. Actually, I think most people I know I eat like 2. You might be up there in like the 8 to 12 a day range.
We do call him the
I'm a
Hobbit
grazer.
around here.
I snack a lot.
You're a grazer. That's true. You're
Yeah.
not. You very very rarely sit down and have a whole meal, but you're a grazer. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
For sure. Mine would be the host with the most Jackman Oaks. I wouldn't change anything. Come on, that's what mine
Just
would be.
get you louder clothes.
Yeah. I would walk out to a song by a band called Paris, Texas, called Force of Habit. Where the opening line is "Walk around like I'm the S," but I think it's a force of habit. That would be my song.
Okay.
Yep, that would be. I wouldn't. That's what I would just roll with it, brother.
Maybe I would go with like the standard Waffle House theme song that you can get on any jukebox on any Waffle House.
It's a great record.
Yeah.
Those same people wrote
YMCA.
No, Pac-Man Fever.
Really?
Yes.
Driving me crazy.
I have that on 45.
Yes.
Of course you do.
The band that was, I think, their first project that they worked on was the novelty music inside of the Waffle Houses back in the day.
that tracks. That's perfect.
Yeah, I knew you would appreciate a Pac-Man
I most
Fever
definitely
reference. So without further ado, let's
Actually, with a little bit more ado.
I love it.
We have our first paying sponsor here at the OVW Podcast
yeah,
Network.
that's right. That's big news.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
At Tough Love this weekend,
We've been begging long enough.
Yeah, those of you who are coming to Tough Love will notice a return of an old favorite to the Hot Point Davis Arena, and that is the photo booth of Perfect Pitch, which is our friend Jason, who is our sponsor for the evening. Jason will be there. He will have, check this out, guys. He has a great gimmick. If you're interested, it's the holiday. It's the season of love. It's Tough Love. Jason is going to have available some roses that are tie-dye.
Yeah, pick one up for your sweetheart.
Yeah, pick one up for your sweetheart. Get your picture made with your sweetheart. You'll be able to get it with a custom Tough Love frame that shows that you are that Tough Love, that you're there at Tough Love to commemorate it. You may have seen some pictures of us from various pay-per-views, a wedding we went to this weekend. Jason, Perfect Pitch, is also a wedding DJ,
yeah.
and kind of just does events. So if you've got a wedding coming up, if it is wedding season, Perfect Pitch, follow them on. Got to be real careful how I say that. Perfect Pitch, follow them on social media. Big shout out to Jason. Thank you so much for sponsoring the OVW podcast.
And we've been through Jason's his setup before.
Oh, yeah.
We know it. It's a lot of fun. Jason is a great guy, knows how to keep the party moving, knows how to keep it shaking and rocking. He's a huge OVW fan, so can't wait to see him at Tough Love this Saturday.
Yeah.
And if you end up going and getting a picture from him, tell him you heard about it on either this show or on the podcast or both. And if you
and tag us in the images when you put them on social media,
Please.
Yeah, and tell your friends too. Jason's a good guy. He
I
knows
need one of those tie-dye
knows how to
roses.
keep it right. I think we can get you a tie-dye rose.
It's going to go right there.
I think we can
Normally,
make
I'm a
that
blue
happen.
rose guy, but we'll talk about that later. But for now, I would like to have a tie-dye rose so I could put in my lapel.
Well, I think we can make that happen this weekend at Tough Love. So yes, Perfect Pitch, Jason. Thank you so much. Go see him this weekend. Go see him anywhere out and about. You might find out that he is at. And
I think that's all that you do.
let's go make these spicy effing quesadillas. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Have you seen how cool this shirt is?
I see that.
We have a whole TeePublic shop that sells these.
I did not know that, no.
We do, yes. And we have links in all of our social media about it. You can get this or you can get the unofficial.
You can get this or you can get that.
That is absolutely true.
I honestly don't know
Hey, my name's
what just
Mark.
happened.
I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow. The wrestling brand.
I'm Sarah and I'm with the OVW Fan Zone.
I'm Christian and I'm with the OVW Fan.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Hey, it's me, Cal Hero. I am at the OVW Fan Zone. Come on, come hang out.
I'm 22, 23 years old at this point. And I had worked previously at the Barnes & Noble, I just mentioned. I worked in the music department, and it was really cool. I liked it. And
what was the highest selling CD at the Barnes & Noble when you were working there?
When I was working there?
Yeah, are we looking at Human Clay? What's out in 2003?
Because of, okay, well, when I got to get into the swing of things, they would let me merchandise the store.
Okay.
And I got to sell the stuff that I felt like was good because I believed in it.
Sure.
Sam Cooke, Live at Harlem Square, was probably my all-time highest selling CD because I loved it. Still love it today. So other stores, it might be some Celine Dion or some shit like that. In my store, it was good stuff because I had the ability to do that. So I had that job. I didn't take it seriously when I was like in my teens. And the woman who ran it at the time, I got into it with her and I quit. Like I damn near walked out. Like it was real bad. And I had an office job.
Or real good.
I mean, it put some problems in front of me.
Sure.
It created some obstacles for me later, right?
Sure.
I had an office job. I had a job that like a middle-aged man would have. I was a manager of complaints at a call center. I lost that job right before 9/11. 9/11 happened. I said, I never want to do a job like that. I don't want to do ever again. The only thing I've done so far that I liked was Barnes & Noble, the music department. I want to try to get back there, right? So like that woman got fired, and then a friend of mine got put in charge of the department. Okay.
So you got the end.
Yeah, but still, like the guy who was
they
the
got
manager,
put in charge of the department. I'm
right?
sorry. Yeah,
but the store manager was still like, "What? That guy walked out." So put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. So about the same time, and I'm working at Holly Cook, if you remember that place. So they put out the call for anybody who can watch the show and review it and give the skinny on who these guys are, what they're capable of, what it looks like they might be able to do or not do. Hit us up. And I did. And I guess there probably weren't that many other people besides me who did so because I got the gig.
What was your relationship with writing at the time?
Funny thing about that. So I would write all the time, but I always thought of it as just like a thing that I did. And I had no aspirations of ever trying to use that to make money. Like, I'm sure I had, if you talk to me then, I'm sure I had like some sort of cockamamie ideas about the purity of it or something of like, well, no, I can't try to sell this. This is, whatever. But I would poo-poo it. And then but I would also be pretty precious about it too. So.
Yeah, I know that paradox very well, sir.
Wasted my time, I mean, there was all this time that I could have been like trying, but I didn't. And that's basically what this story is about. Davis Arena, I live 15 minutes away now in the condo that I live in. At that time, I lived in an apartment that was 16 minutes away. I never went to OVW. I never went. Could have gone, just didn't go. I would watch the show, and it was pre-recorded, and they would show it on WBKI, and I just didn't go. I just never went. And I would watch the show. I would tape it when I wasn't home. It was like, I think it was on like Friday nights too. So most of the time I'd tape it and watch it.
Yeah.
And there was another dude whose name escapes me who would go and watch the show in person, and then he would do a review, and then I would do a review. So they did both, and they ran it on their website, which was a mess. The website was just like a string of links and like pop-up ads, for.
That's how the internet was back then.
Yeah. Now it would be dick pills. Back then I think it was like orthopedic shoes. Because they didn't have targeted advertising yet. Yeah. So like, you would
they didn't figure out what your age range was. Yeah. And social demographic.
The latest hot water bottle, whatever. So I would review the show, and the other guy would always be like, and then he got him in a full Nelson, and then he reversed it, and he got him in a chicken wing clutch. And it's like he would just say what the moves were. And I would be more like, all right, this guy, when he gets on the microphone, it sounds like a car that's been left out in the snow for too long. And I can't tell what he's talking about. But when he gets in the ring, the sweet science is apparent. Like I would use all this sort of flow.
You would try to write?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Unlike this other guy.
Yeah, and I would try to like get across the information that people wanted, which was are these guys good? Where are they deficient from my point of view? And that was like manna from heaven for wrestling geeks back then, because it was like these guys could be the next guys, and I'm there doing the review of the show, right? And it's like you can't see the video, like you'd have to get a VHS tape from somebody,
Right.
which I had, right? Also, valuable thing that I didn't bother to like see if I could like join a tape network or whatever. You know, I just kind of like thought of it as being like, now I say that I go through every door that opens as far as opportunities in life.
Ghostagents.net.
Thank you. But back then I would just kind of lean against walls, and every so often one would be a door and I would just fall into it and then usually just kind of scramble back the other way through it again. So I'm reviewing the show and I'm like, you know, this guy sucks, or like this guy's awesome. You know, like I wouldn't say this guy sucks, but I would be like, promos aren't there for this guy yet. I can see potential, you know, whatever.
Is there a guy that like you maybe weren't so high on that did like make it to the next level and
No.
really impress you?
That's not, no. Everybody that I thought wasn't very good, and this was a funny thing later to jump ahead, because I got to where the thing that is funny about Jim Cornette is that now he's like, he doesn't leave the house apparently, and it's like, if he does an appearance, there's a line out the door, and he probably can charge for his autograph. Before the podcast took off, he would be at Comic-Con, and no one but me would talk to him.
Right.
Right? And I would like buy his comic
And
books.
he's just like, have you heard the Wendy story? And you're like, yeah.
He wouldn't be like that. That was before the Wendy story was even like a public thing.
Okay.
Like that's how far away from like the public eye he was.
Sure.
And he was always fun to talk to, and like after maybe like the third time, I don't know if you'd even remember me, but like the third time that I saw him and talked to him, I was like, I used to review the show. And by then he had like said enough like negative things about the guys that I didn't think were good that I was like, you and I were simpatico on everything. Like everything you were saying is pretty much like what I thought of the show at the time. There was nothing where it was like we were at odds. And it's funny because like telling him that like that you wrote for the dirt sheets, it's like you may as well tell him that like you love the smell of cottage cheese or something.
Yeah,
it's like those guys don't have an opinion. Like what we're doing right here is like,
yeah. Well, and like especially like that handful of guys, Cornette, Pritchard, you know, like that era of WWE creative, those kind of old school through the territories guys hate the dirt sheets.
yeah, right.
And
you know, I mean, I can appreciate that.
yeah, I can. I completely can. Especially, you know, for so long it seemed as if there was so little intent on real journalism in some of the dirt sheets.
Well, I think that's still the case.
Yeah,
honest,
I think.
really. I mean, is this journalism?
No, this is a podcast.
Sure,
but
we're having fun. But I'm that's something that is I'm like that in my writing life anyway. I write advertorials for different small businesses and stuff. Like I sold all the way out a long time ago. I'm not a journalist.
Welcome back to the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jack Minoaks.
I'm hungry. And I'm Brian Hines.
All right, so
Thanks again to Rocco Jerome for stopping by.
Yes. Thanks, Rocco. You
We had a
turned
great
us on. Yeah,
We had a great time talking to him. It was good to have him back.
and he turned us on to that burger place too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, pretty good burger. So let's get into it. We're in our prediction segment. Let me paint the picture here for you.
Prediction. AJ McKay, please record it for us.
Please don't.
Yeah,
Well,
or anybody.
Please don't record him doing it. You do it.
Yeah, no, I want AJ to do it. I don't want to keep
Okay,
doing
yes,
it.
pretty please, AJ McKay.
So
If you could.
I'm gonna paint a picture here, guys. 7 different hot sauces and some cream, just in case I get.
In case it gets too spicy.
Just in
case it
case,
gets too spicy. All
just
right?
in case Lawrence and
Omar
Omar
show
stop by.
Yeah, so I'm also wearing my Icon Lee eye patch. I am a sheep who needs to be shepherded. I have 8 pieces of quesadilla. I have 7 hot sauces. We're going to go incrementally from the least hot to the most hot, and then on the 8th piece, We're doing them all together, baby.
I haven't tried any of these hot sauces, but you did send me shopping for them.
I did, and I was very specific about these because I knew that these were the bad boys.
Yeah, we had to do a video call and everything to make sure we got this right, including the 2 sauces that came from the guy behind the counter, and all he said to me was beware. And I said, buddy, I didn't sign up for the pain. I'm just here to watch it. So...
And he's going to watch it alongside all of you guys here today. So let's do predictions. You do prediction number 1, and I will start eating a...
Predictions.
He
played the music
quesadilla.
again. All right. So what is our... Let's lead off here, Brian. Take us in.
So at the very, very top of my list is the dance-off between Jack Vaughn, Butthurt Jack Vaughn, and... none other than Dude Love.
So this is just some good fun, right? I mean,
This is going to end up being some ridiculous gaga.
I can't wait.
Who you got?
Got to go with the dude.
I'm going with Jack Vaughn. I feel like he's got some moves.
Well, that would be the veteran thing to do if you're going to enter a dance-off. You're going to learn to dance in that amount of time before the competition.
Do you think, what are we doing? We doing Lindy hops? We going to dance like that break dancer from the Olympics over the summer? What are we doing?
Ray Gunn. The person you're talking
Yes,
about
Ray
is
Gunn.
Ray Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see some Ray Gunn moves.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jack Vaughn. I feel like he's the veteran. He's the veteran of the ring. He's also the veteran of the dance floor. Also, shout out to Jack Vaughn wrestling Matt Cardona soon.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Jack Vaughn
All
on
right.
that.
Good for you. He's going to be at the Squared Circle Expo. And if you don't have your tickets, go ahead and get them because that's a veteran move from what I hear.
You gotta have him. You gotta have
So
him.
how you feeling, Jackman?
That was the first one. Very, very mild, very easy. This is one of the homemade ones. Very, very flavorful salsa verde. But there's one piece down.
Whose home was it made in? Do we know?
It was made at the deli at the local Latin market.
I see. Okay.
Amazing salsa verde.
Second thing, so let's see. I don't know that we need to actually record who says who's going to do what. Let's get into Donovan Cecil versus Anthony Toatell.
I mean, last year was the year of the Mammoth. I don't see him stopping anytime soon. I know Anthony Toatell is on the rise in OVW, but I feel like it's still going to be the Mammoth's night.
Man, I do think it's going to end up being the Mammoth's night, but let's talk about 2 shooters for a second, Anthony Toatell and Donovan Cecil. One we've gotten to know over the last year or so since we've covering it. One brand new to the scene in OVW that we sat down with last week.
Great interview.
These 2 guys are very opposed in a lot of different ways. Obviously, height and size is one of the big ones. Donovan has a lot of power. Anthony has a lot of power. Anthony's also just a little quicker than Donovan.
Well, that's true.
Which is saying a lot because Donovan is extremely quick.
For somebody his size, yes.
I do think it's going to be Donovan, though. I don't see Anthony Toatell tackling the Mammoth quite yet. Man, ask me the same question in 6 months, I'll give you a completely different answer because Anthony Toatelli's trajectory, as far as OVW goes, straight to the top. He'll hold gold before the end of this year.
We're getting to our second spicy quesadilla.
Ooh.
Let's go to the close-up camera. There we go.
I have lost the chat.
Again, this one's this is another homemade one, just slightly more mild, but got a good little flavor to it. Salsa roja.
Yeah?
And there's 2.
Wow. I'm falling
How you
behind.
feeling? How you feeling, Jackman? Feeling okay?
This is normal. This is like what I would eat at home by myself. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
Well,
feeling
then
good.
this is where the fun begins.
Yep. Now we're getting into the hotter ones starting up next. Speaking of getting hot, what is our next match?
Our next match is...
I can do it since you're eating. Super Z versus Hotap Peso.
Which Super Z are we getting? Do we know?
That was my first question. It just says Super Z.
So if you missed last week's episode, Super Z, it seems, has an imposter running around. He gets Super Z's moves, like he's biting them real hard, but he knows how to kind of act like Super Z, turned on his head a little bit. not nearly as good as the guy that we know to be Super Z.
That's right.
If it is the fake Super Z, he'll win. If it is the person that we know to be the true Super Z, he will lose, and it will have to do with whoever's wearing the fake Super Z hood.
And we do get into all of that more deeply in the podcast, which premieres immediately after this show over on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@OVW podcast. So make sure you're checking us out over there, listening to the podcast episode. Let's check in on Jackman here. So how you feel? I see we got a hand up in front of the camera a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting a little hot.
I've seen that look before, and I know it's only going to get spicier from here.
We're getting a little hot, but I still have not resorted to the cream yet. Still have not resorted to the crema.
All right.
Donnie Bryan?
Let's move on to some women's action with Sophia Rose versus Tatjevic.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, that's a great matchup there. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
I mean, with all the love floating around in the air and being Dude Love's favorite wrestler right now, I feel like the momentum is with Sophia Rose, but don't count Tatjevic out.
Tatjevic is one of the best new additions to the women's division in a year, really a handful of months where we've seen a ton of great new talent added to the women's division. Miss Larkin stands out, obviously.
Of course.
I do think, though, that all of the momentum in the world is behind Sophia Rose, not just Dude Love's endorsement, just the crowd's in love with her. I'm in love with her. I love Sophia Rose. I love the story of Sophia Rose. I don't think it's going to be Tatjevic's night, especially given a match that we're going to talk about a little further down with another member of the Revolution, J-Rod.
So am I hearing both of you are taking Sophia Rose in this match?
I am.
Yes.
Okay. I was busy with all the stuff we're doing. I lost a little bit of... did I have you both taking Donovan Cecil in the first match? Or did either one of you take Toatell?
I did not take Toatell.
I did not as well, but...
That's what I thought. And what did we say about Hotap Peso one more time?
If it's the real Super Z...
Oh, we have a... Itzo Kazako, $5.
Ito Kazako, how you doing?
Says, return of ZDP, Star Rider's goal. Oh, is the return of ZDP Star Rider's goal?
Oh, man. Ito, I like where your head's at. Maybe drive Super Z so crazy that he has to revert back to some old tendencies.
That would be interesting.
I like where your head's at.
Also, he says that you're going to break at sauce 9. I don't think we have 9 sauces.
We have 8, but that is all of the sauces combined, and that one will definitely break me because I'm like halfway through right now, and we're really kind of heating up over here.
Starting to get a little trouble over there?
Just a little bit. I have not touched the cream yet. I have a feeling next hot sauce we're gonna need some relief. I used to eat like the hottest of this hot sauce is on my pizza when I was in my 20s. I don't know how I ever survived that. I am at one of the more mild hot sauces on here right now in my mouth is I'm not enjoying myself.
Which means we're all enjoying ourselves for sure. All right, let's move along here. Next up is...
But that's 4 down. It's 4 down.
This is, next up is perhaps the most anticipated match of the night, which is for the OVW Women's Championship. Hollywood Haley J versus the OVW Women's Champion J-Rod. If Hollywood should lose, she loses her spot at OVW.
Her career at OVW.
Her career at OVW. What do you guys think?
This is a tough spot, man.
Yeah, it really is.
As a fan of OVW and as a fan of of Hollywood Haley J, this is a really tough spot. I would love to sit on this program and not eat this hot sauce, but I have to. And I'd also love to sit on this program and tell you that everything's going to be fine Friday morning when you wake up. Hollywood's going to be the new champion, et cetera, et cetera. Guys, I don't think that's where we're headed. I don't think that's where we're headed. And I don't want to be the first bearer of bad news, but I think J-Rod's going to retain. I think that one of our favorite stars, Hollywood Haley J, is going to end up losing her career in OVW.
Well, I kind of think you're right. I mean, the way it went down last week was just, wrong. Was just dirty. Like we heard earlier, it wasn't the outcome we were looking for. And I would love to say that Haley wins, but I don't think that's the case. But I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I want to be wrong.
Been wrong
Please
before.
prove me wrong. Yeah.
Been wrong before, more than willing to be wrong, but...
Do you think maybe you were wrong to accept this challenge?
No, I do it for the fans.
Okay, you look like you're... How much water do you think that eye patch has accumulated underneath there? Pretty humid environment under there?
Don't ask. That's 5.
Okay. Last actual match we know anything about here, gentlemen, is for the OVW Heavyweight Championship, featuring the OVW Heavyweight Champion, Immovable Mount Kadeem, versus Mr. Spectacular Jesse Goddards, and Jackman is
I don't want to do this anymore.
I will caution you about one thing, and I will tell this from a place of experience. Watch touching your eyes.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm definitely going to have to take a shower when I get home. I'm pretty bored when
No, I'm just saying the oils from the hot sauce could be in your fingers, and there have been many a times when I've been cooking. I like to cook spicy things sometimes, too. If I make chili, there's going to be about 3 habanero peppers in it, and you want to make sure that you wash your hands. I won't even touch those anymore if I'm going to dice them up and throw them into something.
No, I'm not going to get any of this in my eye, I hope.
Okay, I'm just wondering because I saw you over there and doing this number, and so maybe that's the dad in me wanting to make sure that you don't.
Maybe that's the next punishment.
You have to rub it in your
I just have to sit and rub it in my eye for 45 minutes on the show.
This is not Jackass.
While we're like, actually, and we've got a new interview with DJ Eric, and we're gonna get the medieval torture devices out for Jackman, and we'll be back right after this.
No.
Oh my
so
God.
we were discussing.
Actually, no. I'm gonna stick. I ripped this one in half so I could get through it easier. I haven't finished 5 yet. Wow. Or I haven't finished 6 yet, I guess.
Oh. Having fun?
I'm having a blast.
How you doing over there?
I'm having a blast.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This is like an episode of Hot Wings, only spicier.
Yeah, and I'm not a celebrity.
Got any tasting notes over there? Butane?
When we were working through the mild ones, it was fine. What I did is I should have done them in reverse order and just lied about it, because then I would have been in better shape.
But no, here we are.
What else we got?
Oh, we have Itzo Kazago has now made a $20.
Oh my gosh!
Super chat. Jackman Hart, stay strong, Hart. We believe in you, Hart.
Thank you, Ito. I'm losing faith in myself, but hearing those words from you means a lot.
You got this, buddy. I believe in you.
So, who you got? Mount Kadeem or Jesse Goddard, Jackman? Or
hold on.
How about I start?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brad.
After the way things went last week, I know that Jesse Goddard's wants the clean win now more than ever. I know that Mount Kadeem is a very, very large man, very formidable challenge. But I think it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's the the size of the fight and the dog. So I'm going to go with Mr. Pictacular, Jesse Goddard.
I couldn't agree more with your reasoning. I really couldn't. Jesse wants that win. He wants the championship. He ain't trying to beat Kadeem in a count out. He wants the 1, 2, 3.
That's
spine,
right.
Spine on the pine style, baby. When you're as big as Mount Kadeem and you've got as many friends as Mount Kadeem, though, having ambitions and having dreams like Jesse Goddard has right now are a lot easier to have than they are to achieve. Number 7.
Have you hit the creamy yet?
No.
Wow, that's impressive.
A little bit of the cream got in the hottest sauce, so I'll take that as a small victory, but it didn't really help that much.
So it sounds like you're calling it for Kadeem. Is that what I'm hearing?
Number 7 for Kadeem.
Oh, God.
Smile for the camera, Jackman. Come on. Show us. So, do we think that this is another one where he slams Mount Kadeem and then he rolls out and we end up with another situation like last week? And then at Tough Love, we do a Falls Count Anywhere match?
Oh, that could be good. I want to see Adam Revolver come out there and try to roll Mount Kadeem back inside the ring, actually, is what I'd like to see. Just for my own personal enjoyment. Because I'm not going to have a lot of that over the next hour or several hours.
No, you sure aren't.
Do we have any other thing to talk about?
Maybe getting you to the local burn unit?
I got to do the granddaddy, baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let me adjust my chair a little so I can sit over here and get a better look at this because yeah.
So I see that
we have our last thing is a bunch of the people we know. Beaches and Cream are going to be there. Oh, here we go.
Roy Bischoff says safety alert. Put candles in the bathroom.
Thank you, Mr.
In
Bischoff.
case you're wondering, these are chicken quesadillas with some refried beans, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from those beans later.
Malachi asked me to watch anime after this. That's actually why I said no. It was because I want to go home and be around my own.
Alone with your thoughts?
Yeah. This is miserable. I almost cursed again. This is miserable.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah, on this show. Happy birthday to Boy Toy Troy this past week. Hopefully somebody brought you some cake.
It was also T-Dub's birthday. And Steve, I can't remember your last name. I'm on live TV, and I totally blanked.
Dancing Steve?
No, our friend Steve at the who always gives us the Wix Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to him. And Daniel Spencer's is coming up, too, but I can't remember how many days that is away. Is it 1 or
2?
Is it 2 or 2.5 or it's
no? You got to start over.
Okay. It's 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So we
It's actually what?
It's 3 days away.
So let's see. We got We know Beaches and Cream, Evans and De Niro, Maximo Suave, Angelica Risk, Layla Feist, Ashton Adonis, Jake Painter, Boy Toy Troy, Adam Revolver, Showtime Shanklin, a veritable cavalcade of OVW stars for the OVW fan nation tomorrow.
I was actually just thinking about Showtime a couple days ago. I hope he's doing well. I'm glad to see him back on TV.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to make the biggest impact out of this group, gentlemen, tomorrow?
I think for Jackman, it's going to be the spicy quesadilla, if you follow me.
No kidding. Yeah.
Beaches and Cream, because they're going to end up throwing off, making one of these other matches a no contest or something like that, doing a repeat of their business from last week with the belts. I think they will be the biggest impact of the also appearing list that we have here.
Yeah, I kind of smell some interference from either Beaches and Cream or Evans and De Niro. That seems to be an ongoing situation, which I would imagine would culminate in the end of this chapter at Tough Love on Saturday. I wonder what that might look like.
Oh, I don't know. We just had all of the cage matches and stuff, and it kind of seems like these guys need need something.
What about a Texas Tornado strap match?
Well, listen, Omar and Beaches love a plunder barrel. That's what they do. They've over the last course of the year and a half turned themselves into wonderful plunder barrel warriors. Would love to see any sort of weird stipulation like that because I'm a sucker for weird stipulations.
Sure.
Yeah.
And hot sauce.
Hell, let's do it. Texas Tornado leather strap match. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. That's got my vote.
Excellent. So we done over there?
Yeah. This is. I barely touched the cream even. That was the remnants of all the hot sauce.
We can see on this can. Well, yeah, look at that.
That's from all 8, all 7 individually, and then the 8th one being all of them together.
And he's alive, ladies and gentlemen. So he has survived. Let's take one more break.
We should have just left this at the eye patch. That would have been enough.
Before we do want to make one more mention of Perfect Pitch. They are DJs. They are photo booths. The photo booth is going to be at Tough Love this weekend. Have your photo made with Jason there at Perfect Pitch. Tell him we said hi.
Please. It means a lot.
Yes. And we really appreciate Jason for sponsoring the OVW podcast. So we're going to take a break. We're going to hose down Jackman, and then we'll be back with your questions and comments right after this.
They'll be back.
If Allison lives, I'll let old Reynolds' boys go free.
If you marry him, you're no longer a real McCoy.
See the authentic sights of the world's most famous feud. Plan your Hatfields and McCoy's historic driving tour with us today.
Visit tourpikecounty.com for details.
A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow. The wrestling brand.
I'm Alex, and I'm in the OVW fan zone.
I'm Ellie, and I'm in the OVW live fan zone.
Dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
I'm Allison. We're from Country Boy, and we're in the OVW fan zone.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Welcome back. Final segment, OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Oaks.
I'm Brian Hines.
Are you live? Are we live? Yeah,
we are live. No, are you alive?
Yeah, I can just barely hear. My ears are ringing.
That hot, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
So we did hear from the fans a little bit this evening. I've got a few things that have been said. Drop those in the chat room last few minutes here if you want to.
Yeah, now's
be heard.
the time. Now's the time, baby.
Mikkel asks, can you smell what the griddler is cooking?
That's good.
Tonight it's quesadillas.
Yeah.
And sorrow.
And
pain.
While we're on the subject, thank you very much for making the food for this dumb little idea. Thank you very much, Brian Hines.
My pleasure. You knew I was going to do it anyway. I mean, I'm always making the food.
That's fair. That's fair. It wasn't a big ask, I guess, but I do appreciate it either way.
Well, you're most certainly welcome. Thank you for hurting yourself, I suppose.
Yeah.
For the sake of entertainment.
For our amusement, yes.
I'm starting to get the high that you get from capsaicin after it's kind of
moved on.
Yeah, you get like an adrenaline rush from capsaicin or something because it makes your body think you're in danger. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Well, when you did the chicken and you literally put it in your mouth and then jerked back from your head as if it had done something all those months ago.
This, for what it's worth, was nothing like the chicken. The Brave Idiots chicken in Nashville, Tennessee, if you're ever down there and you think you like spicy stuff, you go get yourself a single chicken tender of the hottest spice, and you see how much you really like spicy stuff. That's a free plug for Brave Idiot. That's the best hot chicken in Nashville.
It kind of describes you tonight.
Yep. It describes me more often than not every night.
So Roy Bischoff asks earlier on when we were discussing the Super Z match, which Super Z do you think will show up?
I think it'll be the Imposter.
I'm also under that impression.
I want to see a Z versus Z. I'm hoping that Super Z has a new costume that he'll be able to debut. Because in comics, this is what happens.
Yeah.
When the bad guy steals your costume, you get a new costume.
That would be hot.
I like it.
Honestly, it would be hot more than one way. We know that costume burns up, but no, that would be dope because I think honestly, Super Z kind of needs a little bit of something fresh paint a coat, if you will.
Or a coat of paint, yeah.
No, paint a coat.
Okay.
Because you were literally painting his coat. You're painting his coat. His entrance gear.
I love that. Roy Bischoff suggested Larkin versus Tatjevic would be an interesting match. What do you guys think of? What do you guys think of that notion?
Oh, I'm here for it.
I keep trying to look over at you, but I moved the eye patch.
The chat room has noticed, by the way. I think it's also upside down, just looking at you.
Is it?
Way to keep an eye out, guys.
Oh!
If only I had a shepherd of sheep to teach me such things. So we're talking about Miss Larkin and Tatjevic.
Yes.
I say this about Miss Larkin. Get her on the television as often as you possibly can. She is one of the more fascinating people in the women's division right now. That doesn't mean I think you strap her up. That doesn't mean I think that she should go straight to the top, anything like that. I just think that her presence on television is one that if you're OVW, you want to take advantage of as often as humanly possible.
She is ridiculously talented and equally as entertaining. I couldn't agree more.
In the subject of win or go home matches, Roy suggested that we remember Hema, who went out that exact same way.
That's true. Yep. That's true. And and Hema. I mean, I was totally in love with Hema whenever she was around. She was such a great addition to the locker room and to the Bad Girls Club. Just kind of coming out of nowhere, only around for a couple months, joins the Bad Girls Club, gives her all this clout because she's with Layla Gray and Tiffany and Dream Girl. That's a very, very good point. Hema lost her OVW, her stature in OVW much the same way that Hollywood Haley J could lose tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Now, Roger Dorn is a little, he was not a fan of this particular segment. First, he asks, why are you doing a hot sauce challenge?
Well, I was eating increasingly spicier quesadillas in honor of the spicy quesadilla in El Risk.
And it goes back to the point system for predictions that was governed by the Finnish governing body, and it is a holdover from that.
And honestly, it's because these fans were getting bloodthirsty over the last couple of weeks, and we had to throw them a bone, try to keep them at bay. That's really what it comes down to.
Mikhail says he has the hot sauce over you, Jackman. Looks like you did win, though. Congratulations. And he also says that it looked like maybe you were crying over Hollywood, but really he knows it's the sauce you were crying over.
Oh, she's not Cody Rhodes. I mean, why would I ever? I've never cried at a wrestling event ever. I
have watched you cry at a wrestling event.
I don't know who would ever do such a thing.
I have let you borrow my handkerchief.
I don't know who would ever do such a thing.
Speaking of Mr. Rhodes, he mentioned OVW
last Monday.
Last Monday.
And with the address, in
and
case you didn't know where
with
it is.
the address.
That was
the first thing he said when he got to the ring, if in the clip that I saw anyway.
With he was in a promo battle with CM Punk, and
Correct.
very early on into the conversation, he says, "When I first met you at Ohio Valley Wrestling, 4400 Shepherdsville Road, all those years ago."
Yeah.
That blew my mind. It blew my mind years ago whenever he did it on AEW for the first time and comes out show opening promo and says, "When I learned from Al Snow, X, Y, and Z." Now, fast forward, he's the champion. They're on Netflix, more eyes and ears than ever before, and he drops the address. The two of the biggest stars in the company in a promo battle, dropping the address, 4400 Shepherdsville Road, Ohio Valley Wrestling. That's mind-blowing, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. You even texted me, because I wasn't watching. You were like, dude, he just mentioned OVW.
The
And
whole
gave the address.
thing. Yeah, it was absolutely mind-blowing. And I there's a lot of, wrestling is you never know sometimes what you think you might know about these people just because you see them on TV. But there's something about Cody and the way that he's talked about Al and Ohio Valley Wrestling that suggests to me that some of that honesty and that compassion that you see all the time from Cody on television is real life, and that he is incredibly blessed, or he feels to have been incredibly blessed by his time at Ohio Valley Wrestling and learning with Al.
Yeah, well,
so he really does have adrenaline in his soul and every thought out of control.
Yes. Whoa. Adrenaline in my soul, something, something, Cody Rhodes. Those are the lyrics.
By the way, Roger did end up our last comment of the night. He says that this is worse than a Kennison and Steve sketch on Overdrive, and says that you guys can do better.
Oh, well, you want to know? You want to hear a classic, Jackman? It's my show, baby.
Yep.
Well, it's our show, but anyway, let's do the calendar.
Yes, it is our show.
Right after this, as soon as we close this up, you can go listen to the latest episode of our other podcast, the OVW podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling, where we talk about everything that went down on last week's Rise. You guys did a great job. It's a great episode. Can't wait for everybody to hear it.
It was fun.
Tomorrow, 6:05, the doors open at historic Hot Point Davis Arena for OVW Rise.
Turner time.
There will be dark matches. There will be Overdrive matches, which air on Tuesday. And then there will be OVW Rise from 7 to 9, and Jackman may survive long enough to see it. Saturday morning, we will be back with our review of that episode of OVW Rise, because Saturday night is OVW Tough Love 2025. We will be there. We will bring you all that. That will go Wednesday night. It's going to be a real banger. Next Tuesday is OVW Overdrive. Yep, I see it. Cody Duffy, 199 chat says Pecs for champ, and definitely an opinion that is shared by a lot of folks. They want to see Pecs be champ.
2 out of 2 people on this side of the desk agree.
So anyway, Tuesday is Overdrive, the show that always kicks out at 2 with Brian Kennison and Dancing Stevie J. We look forward to that. Next Wednesday, we are right back here for Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Tiny Brian, and that's the calendar. Gentlemen, get us out of here.
Well, Brian Hines, again, it's been a pleasure sharing the last hour with you, as we do every Wednesday. We will be back next Wednesday on this very channel. We appreciate you guys in the chat sticking with us. Roger, I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy. I hope you know that. And can I take this damn eye patch off now?
Please.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. This has been Fan Zone Live. My name is Jackman Oaks. For Brian Hines, Tiny Brian Woodard, and Malachi P.S.